小蝶还有一个比较特殊的能力，
Another special
它可以
ability.
为队友们抵挡一次致命
No!
攻击。在战，如果我方角色受到致命攻击，这些角色
What?
Coming into HSR to experience. This is the only real thing that I was like, oh, wow, damn. I guess they got a little bit of heart left. But guys, when you look at all of this, I want you to understand, that's why I uninstalled Honkai Star Rail. And I uninstalled Zenless Zone Zero. And I uninstalled Hoyo Play.
It appears that the bare minimum to some players is going above and beyond for their players. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm impressed with it. 3.2 update was an absolute fucking joke. And I mean that on everything. People who think otherwise are getting distracted by pretty bells and whistles, and they'll realize how truly soulless this game that was once full of life truly is. Pathetic. See you on the next one.
As you are watching this video, I have just finished watching 4 different excellent GOATs content creators that have made content for Honkai Starbucks for Tectone's departure, Gacha Smack's departure. Okay, not really departure, but just their thoughts about the 3.2 live stream. Alright, Tectone, Gacha Smack. So we have just finished watching 4 different creators' reaction towards the 3.2 HSR live stream. If y'all want to see this reaction, I think this video should be up on the clip channel if you guys want to see how it went. But I'll just be using this opportunity to, you know, I don't think I've given my thoughts on not necessarily the global passive, which I hope that by the time this video is recorded, the video should be up as in the previous video. But it's more so how you, your favorite streamers, your favorite community managers, or like your executive account managers, your friends, your families, people that you know around your circle, what has been the impact of what happened in the last 24 hours? We just watched these 4 videos, and I'm sure there are gonna be more to come. Right, sure, there's gonna be more to come. And even for myself, right, within my own community, and I'm not talking about the content creators, but even for myself, okay, not Sela Zero Cycle, I also have viewers within my community that are gonna stop supporting me as well because of what has transpired within the HSR 3.2 live stream. So I guess I kind of just wanted to use this opportunity. It's not just about the global passive, which I think I already explained extensively about, but it's more so, what's it gonna be like going forward? Is it really gonna be a see you tomorrow? What can we expect? Not for the game, but I guess as a community as a whole, right? So I won't be breaking down every single one of these videos in their entirety because we just spent, I think, at least 1 hour just watching everything. But I think we can have some rough consensus of at least these 4 videos that I watched on what has been the feeling towards HSR. So for Stewart, I think his main concern was with regards to the global passive, but he was generally quite happy with everything that have been added. For Kegvin, he feels like he's under a moral crossroad of should he pull for Castorice, because there is the feeling where if you pull for Castorice, especially as a content creator that you know plays Honkai Star Rail and makes Honkai Star Rail content, you have no backbone, which I'm gonna be talking about extensively in this post right here. Right, you are being a hypocrite. You're supporting these predatory practices, and you know you are letting down people that even watch this channel first. And he was feeling pretty sad, right? He was feeling sad about it. And then Gacha Smack, he was really not happy with, I would say, the entire live stream, or at least like 90% of it, because even if there were like, let's just say, quality of life updates and how it's like, it's more like it's like damage control, which I think is a little bit of a similar sentiment shared by Tectone as well. It's like damage control of like what has been going on for the past couple of months and what is going to happen going into the future, especially with the inclusion of like global passive and how people are going to be balancing around it, right? Not to mention the end game, HB inflation, power game, all that kind of stuff. So, generally speaking, I think Gacha's been just not too happy. And then Tone, ironically or unironically, he was I don't know why he's more peaceful. I think it's because bro was in the forest. He's literally more peaceful. And he's came to the realization that maybe the game itself is just not for him, because he doesn't feel the attachment, he doesn't feel joy anymore, because you know he likes Kafka, he likes Jingliu, he likes Bellerbog, and all these new stories that come out in HSR, it doesn't even appeal to him anymore. And it does sound like he's like a story gamer. He play for the lore, play for the waifu, the experience. But now that he didn't finish up 3.1, he came to the realization, oh my god, he's free. He doesn't fucking care. And everything else, which is the global passives, the top up bonus refreshes, right? The whale shops, right? He feels that he's going schizo, which, you know, all these content in their own right and their own perspective, they are not wrong, right? They feel this way about HSR, just like how at the end of the day, do you continue on playing this game or not? Should come from a single point of focus that ties everything together, which I briefly mentioned for Gacha's Max video over here, which is, do you still have fun playing this game? And I think if you can answer that question, it unravels a lot of things, because the same exact pointers that were brought up, it can have two different sides. So for example, in Gacha's Max perspective, the free Luocha and Rame is really, really bad, because they have a decline in usage, and like nobody really cares about them anymore. And like even I don't know if it knows that you can save it. And also the 5-star dupe system, you need half a token and you can only be E6. It's really bad. It changes nothing, and nobody's gonna, you know, be caring about this. But on the flip side, for maybe someone that continues to play the game, not for like whether or not it's gonna be aggressive or what, but it's just they continue playing on the game just because they enjoy it, they could see this as like not a negative. Which brings me to this point that I want to address over here, right? Because I can't speak for other content creators, I can only speak for myself. And I think this message is gonna be the most representative of what I feel about the live stream, as well as how the community is gonna be like going forward. Which is this is not just a single guy, by the way. As in, like, I'm pretty sure there are also other community members, right, chat, that might feel the same. Which is, if I were to continue playing Honkai Star Rail with all these things that are going on about, that has been brought up, and like I said, they're all valid. Right, they're all valid. It's predatory, gold passive sucks, the way it's implemented sucks, right? E6, they're all valid. But if I were to continue playing Honkai Star Rail, and if I were to continue playing Castorice or like pull for Castorice, it's gonna be placing me in a situation where viewers that watch my channel, that watch my content, is no longer a matter of, oh, I like to watch this streamer, or I used to watch this streamer because, you know, he's playing my game. It's become a matter of, how can this guy continue playing this game despite all these things that are going on, you know? And in his words, you know, he can play and continue to make, alright, he likes the game, but have some balls and don't reward Hoyoverse for this shit. Need to stand on business and not pull the most predatory character in the game has seen so far. You can enjoy just out without putting Castorice and all this kind of stuff, which ties back to my response over here. And it's not just Drake's Revenge, because I know bro has been in my chat and my community for a while. He has been 8 months up, but I hope that this also addresses to anyone that watches my channel, right? Like I said, I can't represent everybody, but at least this is going to be my perspective on why I will still continue playing Honkai Star Rail, and why, even if all these, everyone quits, the game is going for a ban, all that kind of stuff, why I still continue to do the things that I want to do. Because first things first is, if you decide to watch my content, if you decide to sub up to my channel, if you guys want to like give a donation, join the Discord, watch my TikTok, watch the video, all that kind of stuff, please know that you are under no obligation to do so, right? Don't feel that, oh my god, this guy, I watch this guy because he's my favorite HSR guy and no one. No. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a nobody. I really am just a nobody, right? At the end of the day, I'm just this random guy sitting in like my house in Singapore, and I'm just like streaming video games, and I'm just like yapping. I am not as important as what you might think I am. There's hundreds, thousands, if not like hundreds of thousands of other content and streamers that can basically do the same thing, which is just play the game, right? It doesn't have to be Honkai Star, it can be any game, and as long as you like the way that they make their content, please do not feel that you are in any way, shape, or form owing me something, right? So, with that being established, I think it's a little bit unfortunate, especially with the message that both Gajasman and Tectone brought up, which is that people that will still play this may be under this moral and ethical scrutiny of maybe not playing, but like pulling for Castorice. Because if I were to pull for Castorice, even if I were to say global passive is a bad system, but if I were to continue pulling on it, I'm a hypocrite, and you know, my words have no value. I serve zero purpose. You know, how can you do this? And I don't think it needs to be this way. Because whether or not this global passive, at least for myself anyway, right? Whether or not I need to have this global passive or not have this global passive, I know that I didn't play Honkai Star Rail waiting for the day where, oh my god, I can spend all these money, time, effort, resources, and everything to play a game that I don't want to play. I start out day one liking this game, thinking, you know, it's gonna be a pretty chill little hobby, and it turned out to be the way that I am here today. And I derived the enjoyment from HSR from building up these different units, this anime waifus, right? Testing out the teams, playing for the 1%, and gooning with chat, all the reactions, as well as, you know, let's just be real, the community that I've built up, they are also, I would say they've impacted my life quite a little bit as well. And I'm very, very appreciative that I can be in this situation where I don't really think
MrPokke, may your journey lead you starward.
Yo, Lumi, thank you so much for the super chat. You think I'm to do what you want? We'll watch it, whatever. Yeah, exactly. But like, I hope that this which is one of the concerns brought up by Kevin, right? Which is if a content creator were to pull for Castorice, they are deemed as like, you know, morally and ethically wrong. Which I personally don't really agree with this. Because it's getting to a point where if I were to play this thing that I play, or if I were to consume a thing that I were to consume, so let's just say I were to pull a unit in gacha, right? It's became this, almost like this. I'm not sure if you guys know how the Korean War worked. You know, North Korea versus South Korea. It's like a proxy war between like US and the Soviet Union, right? It's like a proxy war between two states. And it's getting to a point where because I want to pull for Castorice and play for Honkai Star Rail, I'm going to be under this expectation that I am supporting predatory practices, or I am being a hypocrite despite saying global passive is bad, and I'm doing nothing about it. And it's a little bit unfortunate that this is probably gonna be happening going forward. And I think it has happened before back then. I think that an excellent example is, for example, right, the whole Malvega and Netland thing. I've heard these kind of things have happened before in the past, which is people attach like moral and ethics into playing a video game, which I don't think is gonna be that good, because it's gonna result in a situation where if you were to play or pull for, in this case, gacha units, spend in this medium of entertainment, you are deemed as morally and ethically wrong for supporting a predatory practice. And then if that was gonna be the case, then at what point do you draw the line? So I brought up 2 examples here, which is like, for example, League of Legends with Riot Games as well as Pokemon with Game Freak. If somebody were to spend thousands of dollars on skins, Pokemon plushies, Pokemon cards, does it make them morally and ethically wrong if the company themselves were to do scummy business practices? I wouldn't want to put it such as, oh, this guy spent money with Riot Games. He is a horrible human being. And this is gonna be carried forward not just to like even gaming. Like let's just say, for example, in like real life, like consumerism, right? If you were to buy clothes of Shein, Shein is like this brand where they have extremely affordable, cheap clothing. Maybe there's some SaaS business and labor laws, but if someone were to buy like cheap clothes from Shein, are they gonna be like a ethically and morally wrong person because, you know, they like the quality and they think the price is affordable? So I hope that my community, I can't speak for the entire gacha community, but at least for my community, it doesn't lead to a situation where a game like Honkai Star Rail, a unit like Castorice, and the implications of global passive, it leads to not just myself as a streamer, but the divide within the community. Like, oh, this guy pulled for this unit. This guy skipped this unit. Therefore, he represents that he's standing up against MiHoYo. He's protecting MiHoYo. No, man. It's just really not that deep because I want to pull for Castorice. I want to see the effects. I want to play the different team comps. I want to do my 0 cycles. I want to do all the little content because at the end of it all, I like to play all these things. Maybe one day when it doesn't, I play something else. We had our Gen 3 Pokemon Nuzlocke. That was great. Sometimes we do League of Legends here and there. I think Monster Hunter Wilds is releasing Mizutsune pretty soon. There shouldn't be a obligation when it comes to moral ethics tied to playing or at least consuming a medium of entertainment. Be it if I am a streamer, a content creator, a viewer, a player. Because why would that change your moral and ethics? Is what I'm trying to say. So, if you are a viewer of my channel and you have been supporting my channel for the past, for example, this guy is 8 months, right? If you have been supporting my channel since day 1, and if you have been playing Honkai Star Rail since day 1, and you felt like, okay, I'm done with HSR. Castorice global passive is I cannot accept this. This game is bad. And for whatever reason, I want to quit the game. No hard feelings, right? And that is completely fine. Because if a form of entertainment, a game, a video game, it doesn't make you have fun, then what is the purpose? It serves zero purpose. Life is already this limited, and to subject not just myself, but like people within my community under, oh, they are watching this guy that pulled for Castorice, therefore he's like the company dick sucker and he doesn't give a shit about anything. It doesn't have to be that deep, and I really hope that my community don't end up this way. This is also gonna be quite equal to the flip side. So for example, let's just say a gacha company gave a lot of quality of life. It's like the best damn quality of life. It gives 100 pulls for anniversary, right? It gives you 100 pulls, 2 limited 5 stars, 5,000 potions, infinite thing. Like it has the best of the best quality of life. But if at the end of the day, I don't have fun playing this game, I don't think I'm gonna be morally or ethically wrong. It's like, oh my god, how dare you not like this company or not like this game, even though they gave you so much quality of life. No, man. I just not for me. And I think that's okay. Because not every single person is always gonna have a black and white say of saying, okay, this game is the best game for everyone in the world, and if you hate this game, you're a bad person. Or if you like this game, you're a good person, right? It doesn't work that way. So after watching the reactions of like, you know, quite a couple of CCs, and I think going forward there's probably going to be more. I'm not sure who else is going to be, or what the landscape is going to be like in the future, because there's only so little content creators, at least on like the YouTube and Twitch side, that I know that covers like HSR, and it does seem that quite a decent number of them, they are, you know, I don't think they're going to be quitting HSR content. They're probably going to be coming back as per usual, like play it once a patch and like do the story events. Maybe they look at how the update's gonna be like. I don't think they're gonna ever quit making the content, but it makes the community of the players that play the game a little bit smaller. And now that it has become smaller, I wonder what's gonna happen when it becomes like a proxy war on if you pull Castorice, you're bad. If you skip Castorice, you're good. And yeah, I don't really know what is the answer to that, right? So at the end of the day, which is something that I mentioned in my very, very first video where I discussed about Castorice global passive, how global passive works and everything, right? The very last portion, don't let a content creator determine for you as a player or pressure you as a player on what you should or should not play. Never ever feel like you're morally or ethically wrong or right just because you want to pull for a fucking gacha unit. Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. There is way too many things in real life that you can be worried about when it comes to more, like, unless you kill somebody in game or you're like you're committing crimes, right? I think that is hey, you're probably not a good person. But if you are still gonna play Honkai Star and if you are still gonna play Castorice, don't let anyone tell you that you're a bad person for doing so. And likewise, don't feel that just because you didn't pull for Castorice, you're a good person. Because you're trying to like stop this movement. Ding, ding, ding. It really doesn't very well. Yo, Kangen.
I'm here because I like you as a streamer, not for the game you choose to play.
Boom, very great. So that is gonna be the most important message. I'll be looking forward to see how this community is gonna be shaping up for the next couple of weeks, because I don't think this is gonna be the end. In fact, I think this is gonna be the beginning of the end. Maybe me and Box 2, right? The two of us will take on HSR and save this from being the worst gacha game in the history of gacha games. So with that, I have come to the end of my quick little discussion with regards to how this is gonna shape out. Word of the day is gonna be Gen 4 Nuzlocke. Join Twitch, join YouTube, join Discord, join TikTok, and join Twitter. All the best for gacha pools. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.